Scream, because Scream, hmm, Scream, Scream 5, but they're lazy. They just call it Scream. We're going to do that nonsense again, which is funny because they kind of make that up as like, okay. So here's the thing about the new Scream. It's almost like it's so meta. Okay, so let me explain meta. It is okay, Scream has always done an interesting job of like talking about itself like over and over again. Like it's this interesting way of it's like, so the first movie is really, we're gonna talk about movies as though we're not in a movie, giving you the rules while we're in a movie, right? And the sequel go, oh well, there's sequels, so the sequels has to be a little bit different. This is what's gonna happen, right? So you get a little bit of this kind of stuff, and that's how it goes along, right? So there's Scream 3, Scream 4. 4 brings in like social media and stuff. So some of that was all right. I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world. I don't know that I liked it, didn't hate it. It's like, okay. Scream 5 uh basically like tells you some of the crazy bad ideas that they're going to come up with. They call it a requel, which is like a reboot / sequel where you bring in like legacy characters and then you create new characters. So the premise of Scream is these kids are, literally the phone call rings. She might as well have had popcorn. She's on the phone, cell phone, landline. I don't know why she had the landline, but she does. I have a well, I don't have a landline anymore. I had a landline up until we moved. So it reenacts the opening, Scream movie stuff. Do you want to play a game? Movie trivia. She gets the question wrong, which was so obvious because in the Scream universe, the fake movie is called Stab. So all the conversations about Stab are really about Scream, and it's not terrible. It was okay. I'm like along for the ride. Okay. Um, Hang on. I have to text the first lady here. That I need to call her later because we're almost at our time. We had a scheduled call. I'm gonna stream for a while. They set up 2 basically new Sidney Prescotts. Everyone, one person gets killed, another's attacked. They call that person's sister, like, hey, your sister was attacked, and you come back to town. And then suddenly, everyone is revealed about who everybody is, and reality is a new killer's come back, attacking people that are connected to the other characters. So the it's been 25 years since the original Scream, the original Stab movies, those kinds of things, right? The killing spree in Woodsboro. So it's revealed that the 2 new, basically Sidney Prescott, the 2 girls, are Billy Loomis's. Oh, sorry. The one girl's Billy Loomis's kid. The other one's not. So the Billy Loomis kid has a daughter named Samantha, but she goes by Sam. Sam Loomis. Little on the nose, by the way, for your Halloween references. And I think the other girl's named Tara, and her last name's Carpenter. Again, John Carpenter. Way too on the nose. They must think they're clever. I always feel like that scene in the new Matrix where they're like, ha ha ha, aren't we smart? Look at what we can do. Yeah, that's kind of how I felt with this movie at times. That's for sure. All right, so that's how it progresses. Is everyone that's being attacked is connected? Like, so, the sheriff had Dewey married Gail. She moved to New York with her big, news job or whatever she does, and he doesn't like it. He can't stand it. He hated life, and he's an alcoholic. Kind of screwed up his sheriff gig, and now they hired Deputy Hicks to be the sheriff. And then Hicks, they get attacked, and the son gets killed, and all that kind of stuff's happening. So everything is connected. And you have a room full of all these kids. Oh man, what's going on with my microphone? There we go. That's weird. One of you is a suspect, right? The twins. Who are the twins related to? Hang on. Make sure I look at the notes here. Let's see. Oh, okay. So the twins' mom is Randy's sister. So Randy is the uber nerd in the original Scream that knew all of the horror movie rules. So the twins are half black or Spanish. What are they? Are they supposed to be? Well, they're definitely a POC. So I don't know what their ethnicity is. And it doesn't matter. So you're in this room and they're all there. One of you's the killer. Who to trust? They get Dewey to help. Of course, he's trying to reach out to Gail, reaches out to Sydney. So you have the, you have legacy characters coming into play. You have them coming together. They do a rescue scene in the hospital. And, again, I'm not hating this movie at this point. I'm just going along with the ride. And Dewey just becomes stupid. Like in the middle of this and how many movies there's been, suddenly Dewey's going to go in and save the girl. He has the gun. I got to shoot him in the head because they always come back. True. Oh, I won't shoot him from the head from far away. We're going to get really, really close. He goes back completely alone. And of course, it goes south, goes sideways. Dewey dies. So the girl, this poor Tara girl, she gets attacked like 6 times. She's stabbed like 1,000,000 times, and she's somehow always able to escape and whatever. And at the end, there's a fight scene where she's actually able to fight. It's just so stupid. So the one friend that's explaining the rules, she is part of this as well and lives in the Stu's house where the final killing spree happens at Stu Macher's house in the first movie. So Mindy lives there now with Chad. That's the brothers of the brother and sister twins of Randy's sister. Whew. God, they made it convoluted. It's really not that hard to follow, to be honest. I'm making this more complicated than it needs to be. Anyway, so we go along and we follow them, and then out of the blue, they say, Sam's like, Sam has a boyfriend with her, which is he's actually not bad. I actually liked him. I think he's Dennis Quaid's kid, right? Dennis and Meg Ryan's kid. I'm not sure. Maybe I got that kid mixed up with someone else, but I think so. Let me see if that's the right kid. Yeah, definitely. We're just leaving town. Forget this. We're not doing this nonsense. Oh, well, we have to have a stupid contrived thing, and Tara doesn't have her inhaler. So they got to get one. Well, they don't want to drive home. They don't want us to go by the hospital. They want to do it. So they're going to go to the friend's house. They got killed. She has an inhaler there. And then that goes sideways, and they end up going to where this Stu Macher's house is. That's where everybody ends up. So totally sets up. Let's play out the Scream finale all over again with new killers that haven't been revealed yet. People are getting attacked. Now, despite what you've seen in the footage, this movie is the perfect example of the new hidden woke. This is the new hidden woke. Like the concepts go like this, right? We can show the girls being super tough and get into some fights, but they're still going to come out on top. You can't kill off and you can't make the villain the POCs. Okay, these are some of the rules, right? And the one girl's gay, so we definitely can't kill her off, right? So go back to that scene where they're all standing around and you have these characters like, who's the villain going to be? Okay. So you just sort of kind of run down the list of which ones it can and can't be. And you're like, okay, well, the black guy, Chad, gets attacked. He's not going to die, though. So at the end, there's an ambulance scene. He's not dead. Twin, not dead. It's like, okay. People are getting stabbed. I think he got stabbed in the femoral artery, man. He's bleeding out everywhere. Passes out. There's a shot of him literally being dizzy. He's in the ambulance later. Been a while, by the way. So anyway, the film follows all those rules. Has to be white people that are the villain. And then it has one of the most bizarre twists of what the motivation of the killers are I've seen in a film in a long time. And it's so strange. And I first want to point out like the conspiracy theory weird. So the first conspiracy theory weird is the new Stab movie is Stab 8, the 8th film in the franchise, directed by the guy that did that Star Wars movie, or no, Knives Out movie, which is Rian Johnson, who did the 8th Star Wars movie, Last Jedi. And this film has created a toxic fandom that are outraged at how bad the franchise is treating the characters. Sounds like Last Jedi's outrage, right? So the killers turn out to be the boyfriend and the nerdy friend, the friend Amanda at the house, the white girl. And they just love one another. They connected through a Reddit, I think a Reddit chat room or a Discord about their hatred of Stab 8 and all this outrage. They got motivated, and their theory was if they could create their murders again with the legacy characters, a requel, that would ultimately make a new movie. There would just be Stab again. Sounds like Scream 5, which is not called Scream 5, just they want it to be called Scream. Like literally, this is like the weird meta circular thing that they're going for. And I'm like, okay, hold on a minute. So you you refuse to kill the Black twins. The two new Sidney Prescotts, even the one that's been stabbed like 27 times, was attacked in a wheelchair. She not only survived, she helps beat up one of them. You got them falling downstairs. And then they have Gail and Sidney. They survive. They kill killers. They survive again to fight another day. This movie was so strange. And such a weird cloak and dagger approach to the woke ideology. I just hope you can start seeing this now when you see these movies. Like Hollywood is obsessed with like the white people have to be the villain. We have to protect the POCs, but we don't see the women get beat up too much. So it's usually an evil white man or a Russian man, right? So like the film Nobody. Got to have Russian people for no reason. I don't know why. No other criminals, I guess, but. So Scream, it's not the worst film in the world. I'm not sure it's a good Scream movie. It felt so oddly not like a film. Like it seemed like it kept breaking their own rules and this weird thing. And it's weird. The way they were handling the rules was different than others. Like there's a scene where Chad doesn't want to sleep with like the slutty cheerleader. But he does it not because that's the rules. Like he should say, oh, well, no, we shouldn't have sex. There's a killer on the loose. Don't you know the rules? Like that really seemed like the Scream line to throw out there. Instead, it was like, well, no, you might be the killer. Like what? Like that no one has that kind of approach in these movies. It's kind of like this tongue in cheek, everyone could be the killer. But we have all these rules that are based on pop culture and movies. Like it's such a weird thing to throw this in the middle for no reason. I don't know. Totally did not like any of that. So if I had to rank it, low level ranking, probably 4.5, 4. It's pretty low on the poll for me. The ending was this weird, twisting, toxic fandom. We're going to kill people, so they'll make a movie about it, and that will set things right because we like fandoms. The fandom deserves it. It was just like, okay, no. I mean, if I don't know, it's just such a strange premise that's sort of rooted in this weird Rian Johnson Stab 8 references, Last Jedi stuff that happens in the real world. It was almost like it just took me out of all of it. And maybe I'm being a little oversensitive about all that because I've grown to hate not only Last Jedi, but also the whole Star Wars franchise so much because of all of that. Like they just have derailed everything about what was good. And it's like, that's the metaphor they're going for with Scream, the Stab movies. I don't know. So can't recommend it. Again, I would love to have more feedback on that. If you liked or hated this movie, so I'd have a better perspective. And I may just watch it again. I may watch them all again. I don't know. I don't really be a fan of sitting through the horror movies anymore. Sort of like just gets kind of old, kind of